We're excited to get started with the workshop today. It is Akash 101 AI model deployment. And for those of you who have any questions, feel free to hit the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat the entire time, and we'll get to your questions as we go along. So I'll hand it off to Shimpa.
Thank you, Annalise. I'm Shimpa from Akash. I'm going to be presenting you with a few relatively simple and a bit more complicated deployments that you can do directly from the Akash console. I'm just gonna share my screen so that okay. Can everyone see my screen? All right. So Akash console, sorry, my throat is a bit bad, but Akash console is a tool developed by the Akash core team that is designed to help users deploy their workloads on Akash network like super easy, super simple. It's this what you're seeing on the screen, and the good thing, the really beautiful thing about the console are these templates on the left side. As you can see, there's a lot of them. These are just like major sections, but one of those is the AI-GPU. So if we click here, these are already, so these on the right are already pre-made deployments that you can use to deploy basically almost any AI workload that exists. Yeah. Even if they're not directly in the templates area, you can still create your own deployment. But yeah, we're going to be focusing on the ones that are in the templates area. So number one, let's try with a really simple one, which is the Falcon 7 billion. It's a relatively old AI model, but it's still a really good showcase just because it's so simple how one can actually deploy and use any AI workload on Akash. So if we click on the Falcon 7B, these are just the intro words, but we click on deploy, and we are presented with this YAML section, which is basically a file. And in this section, we specify the hardware requirements for our deployment. So depending on the type of the workload that we're going to be using, we need to assign enough resources for the deployment to actually be able to run. I mean, it's relatively obvious, but yeah, the larger models require really a lot of resources. So in this case, what we need is 8 CPU units. We can go by, this will work even with 2 CPUs and with 32 gigabytes of memory, but let's leave it at these default values. And these are the specific models of the NVIDIA cards that we are requesting from the network. So only the providers that are actually hosting these cards, these GPUs, will actually be placing bids. Perhaps it's worth mentioning that the bidding process is kind of a reverse auction. It's not like an auction where the buyer is the one placing bids. With Akash, it's actually the provider that are placing bids, and they're placing bids basically the lowest one. Well, not always, but usually the lowest one will win. So Yeah, these are basically filters for providers that we don't want providers that don't have some of these cards, like the NVIDIA H100 or V100 or A100, or there are more modern cards, modern GPUs like B200s right now, BH200s, and etc. So, and we need an amount of storage for the model. The next part is basically also, again, a filter. Just it specifies how much we're willing to pay per block for our deployment to run. It's safe to have this at 100,000. Basically, the lower we get, the less providers will actually be. The smaller amount of providers will be actually interested in hosting our deployment. So yeah, and this is not an obligation basically, so it's safe to have it really big, like 100,000. One more thing that's really important here is the ports that are required for the deployment to run, basically to be accessible from the public network, from the internet. So port 8000 is the native port that the deployment runs on, but we want to expose it as port 80 so that it's available basically via the web browsers without specifying an actual port number. So yeah. So yeah, that's that. We can, once we're happy with basically all of these, we can just click right here on create deployment. And we are presented with this little window. This is basically the amount of AKT. AKT is the Akash token that we need to put in escrow as a deployer. And from this amount, the deployment will be basically paid to the provider. So the service is prepaid. You have to put enough AKT into escrow for the deployment to run. As soon as the amount in escrow reaches zero, the deployment will automatically close. So yeah, that's one thing to remember. Do not let your balance go really low. And once you choose to close your deployment, everything that's in the escrow will get returned to you. So it's not like you're losing any money. So there we go. Half of AKT should be enough for this demonstration. Let's continue. I'm not sure if you can see these confirmation messages from the wallet. I'm using Kepler Wallet, so it's requesting to approve the transaction, which will put my order onto the chain, and the providers will be able to see this order. And yeah, the ones that can fulfill this order from the hardware perspective and from the amount of money that we are offering, will actually they will place bids. And yeah, we have, what is this, like 7 or 8 providers that are willing to participate. They are sorted from the least expensive to the most expensive. And here on the right side, we can see what kind of hardware they're offering. By hardware, these are the GPUs. So as you can see, we have the RTX 3090, V100, another V100, and then a couple of A100s, and then in the end, we have a couple of H100s. This particular model is not very hardware. The requirements are not very high, so we'll just choose the least expensive one. There shouldn't be much difference in the execution time between any of these. Yeah, all of the execution times will be measured in less than a second. So Once we have chosen our provider, we'll accept the offer. And this screen is basically the providers are basically Kubernetes clusters. So these are Kubernetes events that are being displayed here. So yeah, we need to wait a bit for the, okay, it actually started. Okay, the container has started, and then we can click on logs and we can see hold on, let's see, what is this? A new version of following files. Okay, make sure you're currently loading Falcon using legacy code. Okay, perhaps, hold on. Okay, perhaps Falcon 7B wasn't the best of choices to show, but regardless, it works. Let me show you perhaps a better deployment. I know that Confi UI works, which is more like, let's go back to templates, AI, GPU, and let's find Confi UI. So Confi UI is GUI basically for where you can use, it's more like a framework than an actual AI model. So basically you can use any of the, well, maybe not any, but there's a lot of models that you can use, and it can be used for text to speech, from, enhancing images, from image to video, and all of this stuff. We're not going to be going too deep into what Confi UI can do. That can be a whole series of videos, but we will go through how to deploy and how to access it. So again, we are presented with this YAML file, basically, which is just a specification of the hardware requirements that we need for our deployment to work. We're going to create a deployment here, continue. We're going to approve the transaction to put the order on chain. Once the order is on chain, all the providers will see this order, and again, they will start the bidding process. And we will receive after that, this screen here will show us the bids that from the providers that want to participate. So again, from least expensive to most expensive, we can even go with one of the really expensive ones, which is like $1,000. These are monthly prices right here. And these are in AKT. So these are just a representation how much this deployment will cost in dollars. But since this is in AKT, basically the providers are being paid in AKT, and yeah, the volatility of the token, I mean, it's not very volatile, but the price is going up and down. This will reflect on the actual cost in the end. So again, same process, same thing, very simple. We are presented with the Kubernetes events. The container has already started, so we can check the logs. And yeah, it's already running. So yeah, this is a really fast server. So yeah, it started the deployment within seconds. So once, not all of the deployments will have these same logs. These logs are basically they depend on the provider. Yeah, every provider will have, every deployment will have different logs, and I mean, of course, and the logs will be different with depending on what we are doing. But yeah, the important thing is that in logs we will see usually there'll be some kind of a message that the deployment is ready and we can start running. So we can click on releases here, and right here at the bottom, these 4 reports are what will actually get us into our deployment. When we click on this, we're being connected to our deployment on the server, and this is it. This is Confi UI. I'm not an expert in Confi UI. I know there's a lot that can be done here. So I think that if we go here to settings, or I know that there's like a whole bunch of models here that one can choose and then decide what they want to do with it. Basically, if it's a text to speech, these are positive prompts. Basically, we're telling the AI what to do, and in this window we specify what not to do. So we don't want, these are negative prompts. So basically, we don't want text, we don't want watermarks, but we do want beautiful scenery, we want nature glass, etc., etc. And these are some other transformations. So, and the really nice thing about the Confi UI is that it's a framework. So basically, you can what's possible is to run this using like the latest AI models that are available. This UI will not change. So we can create a whole workflow here, and then as the new model basically comes out, a new version, we just plug it in and run the same workflow on the newer model or in a different model, and that's a really nice touch. That's Confi UI. To close the deployment, we can just click on these three dots and then say close. And that's another really cool part of Akash. With basically, at least I'm not aware of any other provider on the planet that will allow you to rent a GPU, a really high-end GPU like an H100, for like a 2-minute job, that you want done. So, and scaling from one GPU up to hundreds of GPUs. So Akash is unique in this perspective. It just, with any other provider in the world, you will have to, sign contracts that are, months and months ahead, even years. And you have to basically commit to really, beside the prices are way better on Akash than anywhere else. But you'll still need to pay. With other providers, you'll still need to pay the whole contract, basically, regardless of how long you plan on using it. You have to, commit to a year or even more. So that's that. A really nice. Let me just move to a different wallet because I have a deployment here running. Some of the deployments, some of the AI models are really, what is this? Some of the AI models are really big, so like huge. For instance, let me show you here. For instance, these LLama 3.1, 405 billion. So, and these are even more. So it's again 405 billion, but BS16. So these require like a lot of computing powers, basically 8 really high-end GPUs, terabytes of memory, etc., etc. So I have because they take a long time to load. So basically, once I mean, you can run it. It's not like but just be patient when you deploy one of these really big models, because it might take a few hours before it's actually available to use. So because the model is really, really big, and yeah, there's a lot of like download time. Depending on the provider, it will be more or less. The more expensive providers will typically run faster and have these models downloaded more quickly, and some will basically, yeah, they will run really slow and you'll have to wait for a long time. But why I'm saying that is because I have one of these models actually running. I didn't want to, I didn't want us to wait like 2 hours for the deployment to start. So I pre-loaded this deployment. This is a LLama, like I think I have it running. Actually, I think we can go with this one, 8 billion LLama 3.1. Yeah, let's do that. Let me just grab my token. I'm just gonna stop sharing for a second because I need to put in my token. Just a second. Okay. Just gonna stop sharing for a second. Okay, let me put this in. We're gonna create a deployment. I just, yeah, skipped the part where the token is mine, so it's private. I cannot show this publicly. So yeah, but the good news is that these tokens, these are Hugging Face tokens. Hugging Face is a website basically, yeah, where most of the AI is going on, AI development is going on, and all of these models are basically being hosted over there. And they have, you need to create your own access token for these deployments, and you also need to request permission to access a certain model. Some of the models are fenced, some of them are not, some of them are, you can use them however you like. But this is a measure from Hugging Face basically to stop people from DDoSing them unintentionally. So yeah, they can basically have it under control, because these malls are huge and there's a lot of traffic going on. So yeah, this is really necessary. So again, same thing. Again, let's just go with the most expensive one, because this is it will last a lot. It will go really fast here, maybe a few minutes. So yeah, we're deploying the 8 billion parameter model. This is the smallest LLama 3.1 model. There is also an LLama 3.2 right now, but I think it's actually it's possible to just change the deployment image in the SDL, but it doesn't really matter for our purpose. It's the same thing. So yeah, again, the logs will show when the container has been started. What happened? Okay, we have an error. Perhaps this wasn't the best of providers to choose from. Some of these models have really peculiar, like driver versions that they need. So don't be discouraged if it doesn't work for you, like right off the bat. Not all providers have the same versions of of drivers, and CUDA versions and all of that. it can vary. It can vary, and some of the deployments require one version of drivers, and other deployments require another version. So it's not like you can solve everything with a single version. So yeah, it might uh, it might take a few, tries, and basically asking for offers from trying on a few providers to actually have this running a particular model. But yeah, it's actually a good that this happened right now. Anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing again because we need to redeploy and show my token again. I'm gonna put a bit more FPT this time.
There is a question in the chat
Yeah.
asked, can we use some sort of test box, or is there any way for us to get some Akash credits for the hackathon?
Yes. So there is a test network. It's called Sandbox. If you go to, there is a test network, but there's not much like these high-end GPU providers on the test network. So perhaps it's not the best idea to go that route. However, there is, I think, $10. Anyone can request a $10 basically free money that they can spend on anything on Akash, like any deployment they choose. And this is since the introduction of so AKT is the native Akash token. However, one can use a stablecoin to pay for Akash provider services. The stablecoin that Akash that is supported on Akash network is the XLR USDC, and as the name suggests, it's a USD basically tied token that's tied to the value of the US dollar. So basically, what you get with using a stable coin for deployment is a stable price. Akash fluctuation, the price of the Akash token as it fluctuates will not concern you. You will always pay the same amount in dollars. So this is something that anyone can do, and yeah, $10 is enough for I don't know, maybe an hour in one of these really high-end expensive providers. Let's see, H100. Not sure which one did I choose last time. That one might have been a good idea to remember, but let's go with this one. Okay. So yeah, that's the way to go. I believe that if you click here in the...
Your screen is sharing anymore.
Oh, sorry. Right. Let's do that. Thank you. Here we go. I believe if you click on Get Started right here, this is the trial wallet, basically, where you can where you can get the 10 USDC to fund basically the testing. So yeah. So let's go back to our LLama events. Let's see if the container has started. Let's see the logs. Okay, this time it did start, but we need to wait. It won't take long. It will take maybe a few minutes, but we need to wait for this to load. This is the smallest of the LLama models. So this one loads, I don't know, depending on the provider, in, I don't know, a few minutes. Here we go. We're done. Okay, not quite, but we will be done soon. Okay, here we go. So it has started, and this might be a good time to actually talk a bit about the LLama. So these are the API endpoints that can be used because they were it can be used programmatically. Yeah, you can use it in whatever project that you want. The perhaps the best starting point would be this /docs endpoint. And let me show you what I mean by that. If we go to leases here and we click like last time on these forwarded ports, and it says not found, that's fine. But if we just add a /docs and we are presented with this is like the documentation, or maybe might not be the correct description, but these are, again, these are the endpoints that they are being listed here. Let's go back to logs. Okay, so these are, again, right here, these. That's the one. So let's see. V1 models, I believe. And if we execute, okay. These are the current models. So this is the current provider that is being used. This is the port number. This is the URI. And we're using HTTP. We can even use HTTPS, but it doesn't matter. Actually, slash that, scratch that. We cannot use HTTPS directly, but it's possible. Perhaps not a bad idea for another video. So these are basically, yeah, these are the details about the model that's being running and the parameters that are being handed out to, the parameters that are being used to run the model. Let's go to chat completions right here. So again, try it out. Click on try it out, and we can now edit this part right here. So this is the request body. Right now, so there's three roles: the role system, role user, and role assistant. The role assistant is basically these are the responses from the AI model. The role user is our questions, our input to so basically this is how we communicate with the model. And role system is basically the system calls. So we can basically delete all of this right now because we don't need that many. And what we can do, just a sec, I have these actually prepared right here. Okay. So just a simple message. Yeah, we're specifying which model. It's a Meta. Meta is, Facebook Meta. LLama, they developed this model. LLama is the kind of like the umbrella name, and 3.18 billion. That's the name of the model that we are using. We are using the role as a user. We are the user, and we are asking the assistant, hello, what is Akash Network? This can be anything, so it doesn't need to be this, of course. That's, I mean, that's pretty obvious, but yeah, this is a way how to communicate with the model. And we click on execute. And right here, it should be done very quickly. Yeah, right here. So this is the what we sent to the model in as a curl, yeah, as basically as a message, like And this is the right here, the content under assistant. So the role assistant, which is the AI model, it has replied with this. Yeah. So it took like a few seconds to basically get a response. So Akash Network, we asked him, what did we ask him? What is Akash Network? I think, yeah. Hello, what is Akash Network? This was the question, and this is the answer. So this is basically for developers. If you are developing some kind of a platform that will use this model in the backend, this is basically how you can communicate with your model. We can even continue the conversation. So we can ask another question. Let's go back and let's say hello. What is I don't know what, I don't know if it knows what, I don't think it knows what is the date today, but let's say tell me about color blue. Yeah, something like that. I really wonder what will be the response. Let's go. So tell me about the color blue. Blue is a fascinating color that has captivated humans for centuries. Here are some interesting facts and aspects, and blah, 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 blah. It will go on and on. To a bigger or lesser extent, we can even tell it to, expand on an opinion or on an answer, or yeah. But let's go back to hello, what is Akash Network? Like that. Let's execute that and let's continue the conversation. So we have an answer right here, and we can even go with okay. So we can just copy this. Hold on. Where was that? Okay, this one. Okay, like that. So we copy this, we go back, and then we paste it right here. And then I believe that this should be enough. No, it's not enough. I messed something up. Just try and fix this quickly, really quickly. Let's see. Okay, let's try again. Execute. Okay, here we go. So what we did here is we are continuing the conversation. So this is the first message that we asked the model. Hello, what is Akash Network? We took the response from the model, which is this part, and we asked another question, which is, can you please expand a bit? And then this is basically an expanded answer to the first question. So yeah, this is how you would basically do that. And this can go on and on and on and on. We can just add more more responses here from the model, and then back and forth as you would with any current AI model that we all know and love, like I don't know, OpenAI or I don't know, Claude, or whichever one we choose. So there you go. Not sure if we want to go even further with this. I think this is enough. Perhaps there are some questions that we can answer. If not, I would stop here and maybe provide further support, or answer questions in the Discord. the Akash network has a very active developer Discord that anyone can join, and which is, there exclusively for development purposes. We don't talk price there. We don't talk anything. It's even, well, it's not hard forbidden, but it's discouraged to talk about these things on Discord. So basically, yeah, if you're a builder, come to the Akash Discord, and yeah, we are all there, and yeah, we will help you, and we will answer any questions that you might have. So yeah, that's that. Uh, Annalisa, if you have anything to add, or anyone else, please do so now.
Thank you. I don't see any questions, but I think Ivan made a good point maybe on a future office hours or workshop. He said, I would love if we could make a fast run on each one of the challenges in the hackathon. But I think that'd be something we could do in a future office hours.
That's good feedback. We still have about 3, 4 weeks left of the hackathon. I'll see if I can find someone to maybe do a kind of a speed run of each one of those hackathon challenges, and then just kind of give more details on kind of what's expected and all that stuff. So let's see if I can pull that off. But if you do have questions, like Mr. Shimpa was saying, we have our Discord channels open. You can see there's an Akashathon 3 section with like workshop information, announcements, support, looking for team members, stuff like that. You can head over there and always ask your questions in that channel, in those channels.
Yep, and I will go ahead and drop that in the chat for YouTube. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Shimpa. Thank you, Adam, for joining. And very excited. I'm sure, yeah, but we've got an office hour session scheduled, and then yeah, definitely more sessions coming up, but really excited for this hackathon and excited to see what everyone builds.
Yeah, same here. Akashathons have traditionally proven to get really, really interesting. So yeah, I am really interested to see what this one will bring.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, perfect. I will go ahead and close the session, but for those listening, make sure you join the Akash Discord. I've dropped it in the chat, and that's where you'll be able to get all your questions answered. You can find team members and not only talk about the hackathon, but yeah, join the Akash community. All right, thanks everyone.